I don't want to get deep into the Martha thing, but people realize na it does make sense. Yung Martha scene na yun. Anyway, so it
Okay,
just
I'm gonna let you speak. Pero
yeah,
okay.
with time people realize that these movies do make sense. And yung nga sabi nga din ni Zach na he'd rather have a movie that people will always debate on or like nitpick or argue, because I think that's more of an interesting movie. And with art in general, it's more interesting to have people talk about uh your piece.
All right. So, I brought you on here because you're one of my few friends who absolutely love the DC movies. You're one of the few guys I know personally.
Okay.
I love the DC
Yeah.
movies, and we all know that soon. I don't know when this episode is coming out, but for sure it's before the release of sabihin ko sana Justice League's Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I want you to reason out, like, to me, um, why do you think the Snyder Cut is so important, and why is it a big deal in, you know, um, this community?
I just wanna jump into this question with, yes, I'm a fan. Like, I love DC. I love my favorite superhero is Superman, all-time superhero. But put that out of the way, I'm totally into the Snyder Cut, just because, not just because, but I think it's a win for creative freedom, and it's a statement movement for the industry moving forward. It's a piece of cinematic history that I'd say will be respected and looked back upon like how many years from now. It's history in the making. So love or hate DC, I think it's a win for the cinematic and for the film industry and for creative freedom. Oh shit! Okay, my camera. What happened?
Okay, I think we are experiencing technical
Okay.
difficulties.
All good. All good. Oh
Ano
god, my
to?
bad.
WandaVision episode. Joke lang.
Please stand by.
But yeah,
So
I
yeah, creative freedom.
I agree. I agree with you there. As much as I don't really like the Snyder movies in DC and his movies in general, I would say na the movement to actually make this happen was a grassroots movement from the fans themselves. Like, the fans made it happen with the support, of course, of Zack Snyder and the actors. But it was largely a people movement, not a corporate movement or anything.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
and I
it
think
deserves
it's
credit
good
for
to
that.
add to that. It's good to add that it became a movement not just of the passion of like being a Zack Snyder fan or a fan of Justice League or DC. It it was fueled by the right means. So one big part of that was the AFSP, American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So I personally supported and donated to that, and I bought the merch for that. So I'm a proud supporter of that. But it's really nice to have that uh, positive fuel to a movement like release the Snyder Cut. So
Mm.
it's a good thing to have attached to a historic film uh,
Yeah,
movement. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I want to preface this though by saying, by asking you, what you thought of the original cinematic release, theatrical release of the Justice League that was, what was that? 4 years ago, 2017.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
The funny thing is, when I knew Zach was gonna step down, like what Warner Brother and everyone kept on saying that, oh, Zach chose Joss Whedon because he's the Avengers guy. So I was
Mm.
convinced in some sense that he knew what he was doing, because he was already let's face it, the guy has a good portfolio. He has two Avengers movies on his list. So then I watched it. It was quite the same feeling I had when I watched Suicide Squad. So I
Mm-hmm.
was super hyped. It's still nice. I still enjoyed it because you finally get to see the characters that you grew up with, and you're seeing it live action. So it's a different experience. But then as a movie as a whole, it felt like there was a bullet to it, or there was a bullet hole to it, or it just felt something was wrong. So I enjoyed it because maybe I saw the DNA of what I liked about in Zack Snyder movies. It was a produced uh Zack Snyder film, but it never became his film. So right now I'm totally just for the I'm totally stoked on the 2021 release of the movie because we're really gonna see the what it's meant to be originally. And I think one thing that we can agree on is we haven't seen the real movie. And I think that's love or hate Zach, we're all coming from a clean slate. We may know the gist of the movie, but the writing and the clips being used in the movie, it's totally different.
Yeah, based on the trailers actually and everything that was released, it looks like it will be a very very much different movie. Different take, different arcs, different plot points. Like ayun nga, 'di ba? So many new things that are coming out. The existence of Darkseid, who was non-existent sa original Justice League movie that was released. And looks as if now that he will be playing a gigantic role in this movie, or I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
it's just maybe it's just swerve pala. Ano na
Although,
pala,
can
I
I
don't know.
say, I hate I love the idea of Darkseid being in the movie, but
Mm.
I'm quite scared that I'm seeing too much of Darkseid because I quite feel like he's gonna be a small part of the this movie. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I'm just nervous. Like it's the same feeling like when I stepped out of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where I saw like most of the major plot points in the trailers, or when I saw Doomsday in the Batman v Superman trailers.
Mm.
Nice as a fantasy, but I don't want to be spoiled. So
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna blunt this out, but that trailer for Batman vs Superman, the second trailer, that was, oh my goodness. I think that was the worst trailer I've ever saw. It not in like production wise, but like me seeing it, because I mean production wise of course it's like Warner, and it's a good trailer, like the film, but me seeing it na holy crap, all these things that I didn't know is here. And sabi ko, okay, maybe it's just, maybe it's just a teaser for what's gonna happen. No, that's what actually happened in the movie. But
yeah,
oh, it would have been better if I didn't know those things. Like, coming to fruition actually in the movie. So medyo na spoil ako. Um, after I watched the second trailer, the first trailer, not so much naman. Um, pero yun.
I have a
Which,
question though. Did that really? Sorry to cut you off,
go
but
ahead.
did that change your perception of the movie? The like getting spoiled.
Coming into the movie, yes, kasi it's Batman v Superman. You expect them. I mean, I think the common
It's the brawl, yeah.
expectation is like the main part of the movie is them fighting, diba? Gotham
Mm-mm.
versus Metropolis, Clark Kent versus Bruce Wayne, Batman versus Superman, maybe something like that. But
Mm-mm.
the trailer showed na, wait, no, they're gonna team up and fight Doomsday in the end with Wonder Woman. And that's exactly what happened. Like walang
Yeah.
so like medyo na disappoint ako dun. And you know, I know you love Batman vs Superman.
Love.
I really don't. I really don't like that movie because
Mm-mm.
I watched it in the movie theater. I went out of it. Sabi ko, oh man, I think I wasted 2+ hours of my life in the movie theater. You probably had the complete exact
The best.
opposite reaction
Yeah.
to what I had. So I want to ask you, why do you think, for you, what is the drawing point, or what makes these Snyder movies for you so great and good? Actually, that you enjoy them, because I want to understand. Actually,
I guess one way to put it is, the films of Zack Snyder, I feel that it's ahead of its time. I mean, don't get me wrong, it hits the box office numbers that the studios wanted it. The Put the numbers aside, it really, I'd say it's wrapped in a way that the general public could actually understand the gist of the movie, but there are many details of like little and big things that you can still unwrap today. So it's not just the Easter eggs and all. I'd say fine wine. It gets better with time, diba? So
and that rhymes.
yeah. And siguro, to jump to one thing that I want to say then is Zack Snyder films feel like Renaissance paintings. And
Elaborate, please.
the not just, yes, the visual look, the it feels like a painting. Like if you pause in a Zack Snyder film, you can pause at any time and it feels like a painting. Like the way the screenplay is laid out, or the grading, or the special effects. Well, especially the special effects side of things, it feels like there's a certain taste to it. Na it feels like every frame is well thought of. And in other superhero movies, that Renaissance painting feels like it happens only at the climax. It happens more often throughout the film. Even in just like normal dialogues. I'm not the best guy to ask about Renaissance paintings, pero when you have conversations with people who are very passionate about it, they'll point out, oh, this hand is pointed in that direction because it signifies good and evil, something like that. That
Mm-hmm.
Those little details are spread across like different scenes and different movies of Snyder. That's why I'm such a sucker for that. Like the little details and the things that we unwrap until today. Like Batman v Superman, 2016 film, people still talk about and say, "Oh, I saw this little thing that kind of connected to the Justice League trailer," or something like that. So I don't know how you describe that as a moviegoer, but maybe it's packed in the way that is more exciting every time you revisit it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give you that. Um, Zack Snyder movies do look great. They yung cinematography niya and how it's shot, how it looks, like it looks pretty, it looks very beautiful. Um, that's why, nga, I'll give it that one. But my irk for Zack Snyder movies at times is the writing. Minsan nanggigigil ako sa writing. Not just the dialogue. Well, the dialogue, yes, but we've argued before off camera of like the morality of what's happening. Like, is this acceptable? Is this not? I think the most glaring one of that was during Man of Steel, which I would give it credit. I think it's the best for me. It's the best Zack Snyder movie in the DCEU. Some people would disagree, but I like Man of Steel more than Batman vs Superman. I think it's a more compact. It makes more sense. Movie. I didn't hate it. I don't hate Man of Steel. I think it was okay. I think it was actually, yeah. I think it was actually pretty. It's pretty okay. I won't say good, but it's pretty okay for me. But
It's not good, but it's okay.
it's okay. It's okay. It's not. I have levels. Pero when Superman or Clark Kent let his dad die, we disagree on this, but I think that was a very immoral thing to do, because Superman is one of the fastest men alive. I think during that time he was the fastest man on the planet. So wala pa si Flash.
Mm-mm.
But you wouldn't know, right? Maybe they would.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
meron
a
palang
Superman
Flash.
movie.
Yeah, but it's a Superman movie. And I just don't see. Okay, you can argue now. The reasoning is because of course his dad told him not to protect his own identity so that he can protect others more efficiently later on. That is the argument. But for me, if you can save your dad at the sacrifice of your own identity, and I don't think he was sacrificing his own identity. I mean, he flies and moves at the speed that no one recognizes him truly. Like when he flies, you can't see his face because nagbo-blur siya, bro. So like, come on. I don't know, man. He hides his face with glasses, dude. So if he can do that, he can hide it. He can hide his identity whatever way he wants to. But letting his dad die for that, I think that yun yung naka-trigger siya na parang me and this Zack Snyder guy, we don't agree on these basic tenements. That's why yun nga nakagigil for me his writing. But I would give him credit for his cinematography and how he shoots his scenes. And yung what you mentioned, yung parang symbolism, like yung intricacy, like what you mentioned with the hand and the Renaissance paintings, I do appreciate that. One thing I like about Batman vs Superman that I don't know if you like, and or most of the people that like BVS like, I really liked Lex Luthor dun sa movie. I really liked what's his name? What's his actor's name? Shoot,
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg, and I think his role in the movie, I know a lot of people don't like it. I think malaming na turn off dun sa portrayal niya for Lex. I loved it. I loved his portrayal of Lex. I think for me it was perfect for the movie. I think people didn't like it once again because of the writing. But ayun nga, I really like this portrayal. Pero yun, I'll give you the cinematography and the artistic point of view there.
But for
yeah.
the conflict with the writing naman.
Go ahead.
I know it's not the perfect defense, but you know, I tell you this na with time it gets better. So there are people that change their minds. So they realize that, oh, ang deep pala nung, I don't want to get deep into the Martha thing, but people realize na it does make sense. Yung Martha scene na yun. Anyway, so it
Okay,
just,
I'm gonna let you speak. Pero okay.
yeah, with time, people realize that these movies do make sense. And yung nga, sabi nga din ni Zack na he'd rather have a movie that people will always debate on or like nitpick or argue, because I think that's more of an interesting movie. And you know, with art in general, it's more interesting to have people talk about your your piece. But I don't want to forget this. I was holding on to this a while ago. Let me defend Superman a bit, okay?
Go ahead.
I don't know. We're jumping.
The floor
Okay,
is
My
yours.
bad. My bad. I'll just start with the idea of why I love Superman. Superman is, to put it simply, Superman is the strongest being in the DCEU or DC in general. He arguably the strongest, and I think one of the best things about him is that he can literally do whatever he wants, but the only thing that's holding him back is that moral ground. He's an alien who chooses to be human. And I think with that idea alone, it deserves respect. Like it deserves it teaches us to take things into perspective. That's why I really love Superman. He's a super alien that is grounded by human morals. So with that scene, throughout the movie, the dad kept on saying, keep it. Like, it does make sense for a movie, but I think your nitpick is, you're already the strongest being. Why can't you just save that? I think that just proves that Superman is really a man of greatness beyond our threshold as human beings. So that moral thing just really boosted the character, and it does make sense as in a movie when it comes to writing, because that was the arc that was being built for Clark Kent. But for the character alone, it it just really proves that he's a great character to begin with.
Mm. Okay. That's great that you mentioned. I think this is where we do not. I think this is where yung dissonance natin with Superman is, because you mentioned that Superman is an alien who chooses to be human. That's your words.
Yes.
In my perspective, although technically yes, what you said was true. Yeah, he is an alien who chooses to be human. Experientially wise, he was not born in Earth, but
He grew up.
he grew up
in-
here. Ever since he was a baby, he was in Earth. So all his experiences is of Earth. Like, he had friends in Earth. He fell in love in Earth. He had crushes. He had, these experiences of normal human beings in Earth. Children. Like, he had that. He was not robbed of that, though it was different for him because he's a special person who has special abilities that he cannot understand, when nung bata pa siya, of course. He is as much of a human as any human could be, sans the powers. Like, he understands as well because he grew up here. All his experiences are from here. So, my take on that is he is a human, as much as any human could be, with alien-like abilities, because he didn't grow up in Krypton.
I get where you're coming from. It's like his morals are already grounded with us. It's already synchronized, so why not save him, diba?
Yeah, yung na ano kasi ako, yung na irk lang ako is the movies of Snyder. It portrays na parang the only thing that grounds him in Earth, or that he's caring for Earth, is because of his parents and Lois. And I think it's much deeper than that. I mean, parang na-forgo, parang wala ba siyang na-experience through his time here? And I know Zack Snyder makes a lot of references in Superman and Jesus, because he makes a lot of, a lot of symbolic references to that.
Renaissance painting.
He makes a lot of symbolic references to that. And like the Bible, you see him, you see Jesus as a child, and then the next thing you know, matanda na siya, and he's like, you forgo all these decades of what did he do. One minute he was teaching priests in the temples, and then the next, 33 years old na siya, tapos may mga apostles na siya and stuff. So there's a lot that went in, parang si Superman, a lot that went in the middle, so that I think that was forgotten. The Snyder Cut is very much a creative thing. I appreciate it. I think for me, it could have been done with, a director I was more in tune with. But for you, I would imagine
like
a director I like.
Name a director that you'd say could do Man of Steel, BVS, and
No.
Justice League.
I don't mean that. I meant like I wish this happened for, I don't know, a director that I was more in line with. Not na he would do what Zack Snyder did, but like kunyari, a creative passion pursuit to create something.
But like one fun fact, Nolan approached Snyder to make the startup of the DC universe, because Nolan saw Watchmen, and that's a team up movie. So I'd say they really started with Man of Steel because they wanted to have that. They wanted Earth to the universe to surround to circulate Superman as that one being that changed the world.
Yeah.
Then I think it was a good arc to go to Justice League. I think Nolan really wanted to get Zack for like a team up, which is why I'm super excited for Justice League, because this is another take on the, I'm not sure if you're a fan of Watchmen, but Watchmen was another masterpiece of different characters blending well with each other. So hopefully, hopefully I like the movie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm for sure I'm going to enjoy the movie, but as someone who's critical with what I like when it comes to cinematic debates and all, I hope it meets my expectations, and hopefully it also changes your mind on the
I mean, I hope.
Snyder dilemma. Yeah,
I hope though.
hopefully.
I mean, I
Yeah,
would love to
let's keep
enjoy every
let's
movie
keep
I
an open
watch.
mind, right?
I would love to
Are you?
enjoy every movie I watch.
I also have this philosophy. I also have this philosophy of I'm a fan of the thing I'm consuming until proven wrong. When I wanted to watch Captain Marvel, I was
Okay.
convinced that I was going to have a really good time because uh, Marvel's really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, props to them. They already know what the public wants to see. But it kind of shattered when I watched the film, so it was quite hard for me to enjoy. So, you know, I'm a fan of the films or the music or whatever creative endeavor until proven wrong. So,
Yeah.
if someone's bashing someone for a trailer in a movie that seemed okay, like I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
protect that director or that
Yeah.
actor. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the Marvel movies. I hated Captain Marvel. I hated Captain Marvel. Not
Same.
because it did. I don't think it did anything particularly wrong. Like parang yung maninitpick mo na ay mali yun. I don't know. It's just so boring to me. Parang kunyari
It's
panoorin
so
ko.
it's so thin eh. Like it just doesn't have an impact to me as a viewer.
Mhm. Mhm. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe
It's
how it
just
was
that other
directed.
movie.
Cause
Maybe
I know Brie Larson is a good actor. She was part of
she won
TV
awards,
show.
dude.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
why.
Brie Larson is a good actor. So I think it's in the directing or the writing or something. No, why? It would have been such a nice, like what I mentioned a while ago. I want to enjoy every movie I watch, which is the
And
same with you.
y- one good product of MCU is WandaVision. Like I'd say that I was quite worried after Endgame. Like it might feel dry,
Mm-hmm.
but when I watched yung I'm not sure if it's Phase 4, but WandaVision really made me excited again. It's the
Same.
it's the rebirth of MCU hype for me. So,
Yeah, after being gone for an entire year, diba, nothing was
mm-mm.
released in 2020. Bigla na lang, bam, WandaVision. Different formula, different
They
medium.
experimented
Yeah, which is
finally. Like
nice.
I don't like one thing that I don't like about MCU is there comes a time that after so many movies it feels like it's the same movie with different plots and characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's just formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
right now
understand.
it feels like they're experimenting and it's fresh. It's a fresh take on how to make movies with Marvel characters again.
The great thing about Marvel movies kasi before, the one benefit pala to hide, the formula that they have is minsan lang kasi sila mag-release per year. Like, once, nung una, di ba? Once lang sila
Mm-mm.
mag-release per year, tapos naging medyo twice, ganun. Tapos
Two to
separated
three
pa.
times na ata at that
Tapos
at
parami ng
the peak of
parami.
Marvel,
Yeah,
diba?
parami ng
Yeah.
parami. Pero nung umpisa, onti pa lang. So parang, it's been months since you saw this Marvel movie, so like, medyo nare-refresh yung utak mo, tapos ganun. But if you really
Mm-mm.
watch it, like, kunyari, pasunod-sunod, which I believe I have for Spider-Man, talagang, okay, yeah, there is this, they play it safe a lot, which is,
Mm-mm.
what you do if you want a wide audience, yung kids, syempre, and everyone to enjoy it, but yung back end on is like, yeah, but you just stay there. Like, yeah, no one dies, but like stay there. That's
Mm-mm.
why I think Infinity War and Endgame is so great because there are actual
Yeah,
stakes
yeah.
and people actually die. And sa Infinity
Mm-mm.
War nga, the good guys lose, which never happened in Marvel movies. So
Mm-mm.
like, wow, that's cool. What do you think? the main difference for MCU and DCEU movies are, and yeah, why do you gravitate to one apart
Hmm.
from the other?
As easy as the tone and how interconnected they are. Like, props to Marvel. They established something grand. Like, one a generational thing. Like, I'm happy to be part of the generation that actually built up from Iron Man 1 to Endgame. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really nice thing to have part of. And MCU, like, they really have good movies too. Don't get me wrong, but as a franchise, I feel like there has to be a shift of tones every once in a while. Like, I don't want the same director doing the same thing back to back. That's why I appreciated the Zack Snyder Patty Jenkins tandem. Like, they had the same DNA or the same approach into creating this universe, but at the end, the Patty Jenkins style of movie was followed, and
Mm.
the Zack Snyder type of movies were followed. And arguably, I really like the approach of David Ayer's Suicide Squad, but I felt like there was so much things left out, and the politics of DC movies. That's another big topic that's gonna be painful to talk about.
Yeah.
And but one thing I'd compare it to actually is my least favorite DC movie is Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Really?
because yeah,
It's the
maybe
one
because
most
it
like
felt
Marvel movies. It's the one
yeah,
most like
maybe because
Marvel
of that.
movies.
It felt in your words, it felt too safe. Like Marvel movies. So I don't know if it was just like they were playing copy, or maybe they were really embracing that fun. Like, I really I enjoyed the movie, but it's just my
Mm-hmm.
least favorite because
You
I
wouldn't say
love
it's
the
bad.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed the movie. Like, I really love the take on, because I didn't really grow up knowing much about Shazam, but I really enjoyed the feeling of, like, you're a kid becoming a
Mm-hmm.
superhero like Superman. That's
Yeah.
it's like the ultimate dream as a Superman lover, diba? But it felt safe, and it felt like it did not have that connection to, like, the Patty Jenkins, Snyder, David Ayer type DC.
In Shazam's defense though, I think it is most like a kids movie and it is the most safe movie because the main character is a kid in
That's the
its
concept,
defense.
diba? So
Right?
yeah,
So, I mean, I think it makes sense na it is the most
it's
safe
fair.
because
It's fair.
saka it's wacky din eh. Imagine medyo you can put a comedic twist to it like a kid shouting a name tapos bigla lang siya nagiging adult like dude
Mm-mm.
it can I don't know. It's a silly idea na I, I love Shazam. I love Captain. I mean, I grew up knowing he was Captain Marvel. He's the better Captain Marvel, in my opinion. He's the only Captain. De joke lang.
Uh,
But yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely.